Stokers, welcome to episode 59 of the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
What up, dude? Boom clap, Stokers.
And you guys may have heard an extra voice in that ad for Rowdy Gentlemen. This is our dog, Johnny Mitchell. Welcome to the podcast.
Fellas? Hey, thank you. I'm tickled to be here.
We're happy to have you, man.
Man.
You came in hot with the leather jacket.
Well, I came overdressed, apparently. This is like a big deal for me, you know?
It's a big deal for us.
You know? So
we're happy to have
let's
you.
get into it.
Stoked to have you on.
All right.
Yeah, and I guess, we'll get straight into it.
We came up together, guys.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we should do, like how was your day talk?
We don't have to, but I'm just, not to, come in sucking dick right off the bat, but I'm just proud of you guys. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm a little older, and we started about the same time, and I see you guys, and I'm just like, what video was it? Was it with Arnold? Maybe it was the Arnold video, or maybe it was you guys. It was you were at some convention, but I'm like, these motherfuckers are going to be in a movie.
Yeah, dude. So how's your day been, Johnny?
It was good, fellas. I'm laid off, so my life is so good. Like I finished work Friday, so
as of what? As of Friday.
As of Friday, yeah. So I've got that fat unemployment coming. I got like side gigs, hustling, and various ways of getting money. And
you knew it was coming, right?
What's that?
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. It wasn't like an abrupt office space. Clear your shit, you know.
That seems like your sort of style of living, like.
Yeah.
Or not getting laid off, but like you're more of kind of a hustler guy. Like the 9 to 5 does not suit you well.
No.
Whenever I talk to you, you're in 9 to 5, and you're just like, this is not gonna last. This is gonna last like 2 months.
This is the longest I ever held a job. It was for a year and 4 months, like at the same company. I'm 33 and I've had 30 jobs, and it's the longest that I've ever been with like a company and haven't been fired, haven't quit. You know what I mean?
Did you enjoy the stability?
I did, but it was wearing still. You know what I mean? It was like I'm like it's still holding me back a little bit, like having to having to get there, even though it was like I got to get there at 10 a.m. But it's still, you got to get up, you got to shower sometimes, you got to brush your teeth, you got to be halfway like alert. So it's hard, dude. It's hard trying to make it an entertainment and have a fucking day job, you know?
Yeah, and you're working on a book, correct?
I am. Thanks for asking.
Well, I guess, we brought Johnny on. He's got a million stories to tell, but there's one in particular that we were very interested in. And it's actually one I've never, even though we've been friends for a while, I've never really talked to you about it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gone into detail about it, but...
I've heard bits and pieces.
Yeah, I just gotten off parole. I'd moved down here from Portland in 2012, 6 months out of the joint, right? And I know we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but... So
give
I was
a little
on
taste.
Right, give you a little taste. So I was ward of the state, right? And I had 3 years.
That sounds like a title in Game of Thrones.
Ward of the state.
Yeah.
So I moved down here after getting out of the joint. I had a 3-year tail, as we say, 3 years on parole, and they didn't know I was leaving the state. Because when you're on parole, you're not allowed to leave the state. You got to get a job. You have to check in. I did none of those things. I just moved because I was so antsy. I wanted to move to Hollywood so
ballsy.
bad.
Weren't you worried?
I was a little worried. So I was looking over my shoulder. I was going the speed limit, all that shit. And
but they don't get you in trouble if you don't meet your parole officer or something.
No, because for nonviolent guys,
you never have to see them.
They're so backlogged. They have so many people on parole, and they have so few parole officers that if you're well behaved for your first couple of months after you get out, you can just start mailing in like a questionnaire, like, are you employed? Do you?
So do you think they almost know a lot of the guys are taken off, and they just don't have
I think it's possible. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
The funds or the time to keep them.
Of course,
keep tabs on them.
Were there any close calls?
Yeah, I got pulled over for talking on a cell phone on the 405. The state trooper. I had expired tags, as I do now. I had a license, but I was just caught red-handed. Wasn't supposed to be out of state. He didn't even run my plates. He just walks up and he's like, "Sir, don't talk on your cell phone while you drive." And he just bounced.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind when he walked up? I'm going back to the pokey, or
no? Because I wouldn't have gone back to the pokey, right? Like, because I'm not committing any crime.
Sorry for the jargon.
That's okay. No, I love pokey. Pokey's
I've never heard that.
Oh yeah,
I thought you were talking about Pokey's.
Oh, Pokey's a classic, dude. That's like inside shit.
Oh, okay, cool.
JT,
cool.
Yeah, good one.
Good.
And so I mean, look, and so I dodged the man for whatever 2.5, 3 years. And then by that time, I was already doing stand-up.
Okay.
And now here I am.
So take us to the beginning. To like the very beginning. I want to know what you were like as a kid.
Yeah.
I was a weirdo. Yeah. I was a weirdo.
Were you weird? You seem like you would have been popular. You're a popular guy now. You get along with people.
Not for a long time. Not until high school. I was bullied. Can you believe that? You believe they would bully me?
I can believe that too, though.
What are your siblings? How many siblings do you have?
I get 2. I'm the oldest. I got a younger brother. He's 2 years younger than me, and then my sister, who's 25. She's 8 years younger than me. Nice. She's the one that's adopted from China.
Yeah, she's Asian.
Yeah, she's the Asian one. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I always didn't want to be here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the world was too much for me, like from day one.
Oh, the world! I thought you just didn't want to be in school.
No,
you were
it
unhappy?
was just the world. Yeah.
Oh no, dude!
And I was such a quiet, introverted, introspective kid, and I would
really?
Like stare at the sky and shit, like a really fucking weirdo. Like,
really?
So my parents like sent me to a specialist. Like, is the boy slow? You know? But I read all the time, right? And I just wanted to. I didn't know what I wanted. I just wanted to be left alone. I wanted to be free, and that's kind of.
Did you like your parents?
I didn't like my dad. I still don't. But we're getting, there's been some healing. But yeah, no, my dad was not a good dad. He was there financially, but he was pretty shitty.
Was he mean?
Overall? Yeah, he was mean. He was ignorant. He was from a different time. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. He's like a white guy who grew up in the 60s in Cleveland. You can't expect much from those guys.
Did the other siblings get along with your dad?
Yes. And I think my dad at a young age, I think he sensed there was something immoral, or I lacked like a certain strength of character, which in retrospect is accurate. See, I have to say, is accurate.
You think like early on, he's like, Johnny's not going to be a lawyer.
100%.
But you don't.
100%.
But you think you have
strong
morality.
Well, I've had to work on it. I have a lot of character flaws that led me to do what I did, to land me where I did, I think.
When did you start? So when did you make the decision? Because you went to jail for. I guess they don't know yet. You went to drug.
That's right.
You went to
drug
jail
trafficking,
for drug trafficking
and money laundering. So back in the day, I don't know how young your fan base is, but kids, before there was a weed store in every corner, right? Before you could walk in and, people in. It looks like an Apple store now when you go to buy weed, right? Like everybody's wearing the same shirt and they're helping you out. It was a gigantic trade, and people were getting rich doing it, selling marijuana, and I was one of those guys.
What age did you start?
I think we bought an ounce in high school. Me and my buddies, we all went in on like 28 grams, and we didn't know what we were doing. We tried to bag it out, and sell it, and we didn't know how any of it worked, and we just ended up smoking it all. But I would see guys from the neighborhood who would come up, who would actually could make a living selling weed. And I'm like, oh my God, that's all I want to do. That's fucking incredible. You guys just sell weed all day and you sleep in? So I knew there was something more to it. And by the time I got to college, that's when 2004, when I graduated high school, I bought an ounce, a scale, and a cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone until 2004. And that was it. And then I just started, and that was the progression. And 7 years later, I was making, 10, 12, 15 grand a week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you a quick learner of the game?
Yeah, I think so. But I was always like, I could have been better, I was like, I'd say like, if I had been a better businessman, I would have started investing my money earlier in like legitimate businesses. Because I thought I had to have like $1 million in cash to like go do something, right? Whereas that's absurd. 50 grand, 100,000, you can go start investing in shit, and you can be like financially free, just with a little bit of discipline,
Right.
But that's all hindsight, right? When you're making so much money, like it's fucking cool to have $1 million in cash.
So everybody was kind of just chasing as much money as possible.
Yeah.
But no one was really thinking about like how to get out.
Exactly. Everybody was just trying to be as big as possible.
So did you guys ever talk about like, hey, what do you think we're going to be doing in like 5 years?
No.
There was no conversation about that.
No. I mean, I didn't think I would be doing it. But I also didn't think I was going to blow up to be, like a trafficker.
doing it
and once that happened, once I was like, oh my God, I'm getting I'm getting wealthy doing this, getting rich doing this. I was like, I can turn this into wealth. Like I could. That's when the ideas started coming. You know what I mean? But I never thought I'd have that kind of cash.
Change.
Yeah. When I got to jail, that's when I saw like real traffickers and sophisticated ways that they were like moving money and how they were businessmen. Like these are outlaw criminals, but they treat it like they're CEOs. You know, it's fascinating.
How long did it take before you started making like serious money?
It took 6 years, and by year 8, I was in jail.
So what was life like after like year 1?
After year 1, okay. After year 1, it was like, here's book money, right? Here's lunch money. Here's money to go to the bars. After year 2, it was like, there's that, plus we can pay some bills. After year 3, it was like, okay, we can actually move up in the game. We can move up from hand-to-hand sales.
Who's we?
My partner and best friend, Reggie. Shout out to Reggie Walker. He'll probably listen to this, actually.
Oh, nice. Hey, what's up, Reggie?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah. And then by year 3, we moved up from what we call hand-to-hand sales to now distributing to dealers.
How'd you and Reggie get connected?
I just knew him from the neighborhood. I knew him from high school.
Was he a good partner?
Yes. Better than me. Smarter, savvier, better connected. Yeah, just good at it, you know.
Did you guys split it 50-50?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he was smart enough to like pay off his student loans and then get out.
Oh, so he never went to jail.
He got a master's degree.
He never went to jail for any of this?
No.
But you say his full name?
I bought him out. Yeah. Fuck it. It's past the statute of limitations. So I bought him out of the business. And
was there any part of you when he left that you were like, I should go too?
I thought about that. I'm like, God, am I going to be this dude forever? And it was unsettling, you know? Like I didn't want to necessarily be the guy that like couldn't talk about what he did.
I heard that's the hardest part.
When he was in polite company, right? Yeah, because everybody's like getting jobs.
Especially people like talking about work.
100%. I don't know. Yeah, like I just don't want to be the guy. It's like the elephant in the room. Like here's fucking John, you know, scumbag or whatever.
You felt isolated?
Yeah. But it was worth it.
Did you ever feel like ashamed?
I felt ashamed when I got raided, when I got in trouble. Yeah, that was really the only time when I was incarcerated.
Would you tell people before you got?
Would I tell them what I was doing?
Would you tell them that you were a dealer, ever? Like if you met a girl at a bar and you guys had like a romantic weekend together at the last day, would you ever be like, "Hey, by the way, I told you I'm a mortgage broker, but actually I."
Not towards the end. No, towards the end I was getting paranoid.
So you just weren't talking to people.
Yeah. When you first start, you have to tell everybody that you're a drug dealer because you have to have people to buy your drugs. People have to know what you're doing. That was the only way to market back in the day. You know what I mean? There's no Facebook ads.
Do you ever have any like scary moments meeting with like a boss or something?
Yeah. Several times when I was in Colombia, I was like living at this hostel. I was there for like 3 or 4 months, and I was like staying in the penthouse, like the top floor of this backpacking hostel. But it was like a fat room. It was a suite. It was private. You know, there wasn't a bunch of bunk beds and shit. And I was like, gosh, I should really start selling drugs to all these fucking European tourists coming through. You know what I mean? They're just animals. The guys from like fucking Switzerland, Germany, Britain, they're animals. They've come to South America. They lose their fucking minds. I'm like, and I speak fluent Spanish. I'm like, I should go buy a sack and see if I can fucking get it off to these dudes. So the guy who's working at the desk, the receptionist of the hostel, I'm in tight with him, right? Because I'm basically living there. Been there for a couple months now. And so he takes me. It's like 1 a.m. He calls up a taxi. The taxi picks me up. It's a special taxi, right? Doesn't have the light on.
No Maria.
That's right. Exactly. And it's in Medellin. So I'm in Medellin. This is before Netflix made it hot. This is before it popped, right? This is when...
Entiendo.
Yeah, eso. Eso, papa. ¿Tú quieres eso en español o inglés?
English, por
Okay, so good for you. We get it. You're cultured.
Yeah.
So this cab takes me to just some ghetto neighborhood in Medellin. There's kids on bikes. It's 1 a.m. and it looks like it's 5 p.m. There's just kids out everywhere running. There's people fucking playing dominoes, smoking crack. There's kids on bicycles with walkie-talkies, like on like the street corners. And then there's guys on roofs looking out, right? And everybody's chirping and walkie-talking. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just been smoking weed. I'm so high. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Right? So this is like a D spot. This is a drug block. Like if cops come in here, they're coming in to kill. You know what I mean? Like this is some heavy shit, right? Like the militar is coming in, you know? So yeah, so basically they take me to the stash house and I'm like, cause I want to get pricing on coke, on weed, all that shit. And I'm like, show me something, you know? So the guy he's kind of like running the shop and there's dudes with guns. There's guys like playing Mario Kart on the couch and like cleaning out their fucking pistols and shit. And this cat, like he's got fucking, he takes me up to this little room and he's got fucking kilos stacked up like textbooks. You know what I mean? Garbage bags full of weed. And I'm like, dude, I just wanted like an ounce. And he's like, well, you can't just leave here empty handed. You know, you got to buy something substantial. Right. So I bought like 9 ounces of coke, a couple bricks of weed, just cause I didn't want him to be, you know, just cause I was trying to be polite. Yeah. But I had to give like half of it away because I was leaving.
That's like
soon.
Going over to someone's house for dinner and you don't taste it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You don't finish your plate or something. So yeah, that was scary for sure. But actually, you know, it wasn't even that scary. I try to make it dramatic, but I mean, Colombians are super friendly.
Yeah, they're supposed to be the happiest people on earth, according to like however they measure that.
I think it's Denmark. I don't think it's Colombia.
You know better than me. Yeah.
I mean, look, perhaps, but I think I just read that in Bloomberg.
And I think it's I don't want to get political. I think it's a reputable rag. And then I think also Colombians, they are the happiest, but they go the other way fast too, though. They got tempers on
Certainly, very fiery, yeah. Whereas people from Europe, like Nordic people, they're just very like...
More stoic.
Exactly.
Did you ever deal in the Netherlands or anything like that?
No, I'd never been to Europe.
Really?
Yeah. Doesn't that suck? I was obsessed with South America and Mexico. I still am, kind of.
So what'd your family think you were up to at this point?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of always knew, but I would bullshit them. I'd tell them, I have a job. I'm working with this company.
Were you good at making that stuff up?
No, not really.
It was like super vague. I work at a factory with a guy named Ben, and we're busy.
Yeah. I work at a brick factory.
I make bricks with a laser, Dad.
Yeah. I was selling bricks though.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They never gave you like a talking to, like, hey, we know what's up.
No, they did for sure.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't like it.
Were your sibs like? Did they know, or did they ever get like upset?
No. I mean, I would give my sister money, so that kept her happy.
Right.
You'd be amazed how quickly people turn the other way when you give them cash. Mm-hmm. Humans are corruptible.
No, I know.
Like even like landlords and shit. Like I would live in furnished apartments around Portland. Like I would just walk up with a bag, and they'd be like, "Okay, you have no job. You're just out of school. What do you?" And I would just be like, "Well, I pay you 3 months up front." And they wouldn't even look into it. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, here's the keys."
I know, and I bet if they had to turn in one of their tenants to the cops, they'd be like, "No, pick the other people."
Exactly.
Before. Like Johnny's a good guy.
He pays his rent. Yeah,
Johnny pays his rent. He's quiet.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's not drawing attention to himself. Yeah.
He comes and goes late, but besides that,
no one notices him. He's a great guy.
Yeah. So it was just like a masquerade. I'm more ashamed of it now. Now that I'm getting interviewed by you guys, I actually feel bad about my life, dude.
But
were you in charge of like a specific like territory? Like, don't go in there. That's Johnny's territory.
No, there's nothing like that. It doesn't work that way in the States anymore.
Oh, okay.
It works that way in like South America, like Italy, Naples, and shit that are run by like the gangs in Europe. It works that way. But I was wholesaling by the end. So I was just selling. I was shipping it across the country.
Did you ever
just like 2 or 3 big distributors.
Did you ever have to get tough to get your money?
It got hairy. It got hairy a few times, but I don't know if I should talk about it. It's in the book though, but it got gangster a few times.
If it's in the book, then talk about it.
I know.
You can cut it.
Yeah, I mean, look, back in the day, people were getting robbed, and if you got robbed and you got robbed for everything you had, you would find somebody less dangerous to go rob. You know.
Oh, so you want to go back to the person who robbed you because they were probably tougher. So
exactly,
shit just kind of flows down.
I mean, if you could hit them back, but then at a certain point, what's the end game? Like if you come and rob me with a gun, and I know you did it, I have two options, right?
Let it go
or go kill you.
Yeah.
Because if I go rob you back, then it's like we're just passing it back and forth.
Yeah,
you know We're passing and so if you're not willing to do that, then you got to be a little more sneaky about it. But yeah, we got robbed at gunpoint. We got we'd come home and our door would be kicked in. We kicked in people's doors. We pulled one or two instances where I would have got like serious years in prison for the shit we did.
Right.
Like 8 to 10 years in prison. And I would think back, I would be in prison, right? And I would wake up in cold sweats like, oh my God, thank God I'm here just for selling drugs, not for, getting caught for that other thing. You know what I mean?
That's
like
a good perspective.
Yeah. And, maybe I helped out the kid though. Maybe I helped out the kid.
What kid?
That we did. Well, there was a beef with this kid. He started, I'm just going to say it. Fuck it. Just going to lay it out there, right? It's been years.
Yeah, please do.
But there was this kid who was re-upping from us. He was picking up from us. He was selling our shit, right? And he stopped selling our shit. He started buying from somebody else. And so I got mad about that. And I knew I had a friend, a really tough friend from out of town who's from the ghetto. Like this is kind of the way he operated. And I knew we wanted to get paid, and I knew where the kid lived. I knew where he picked his dope up. I knew where he kept all of it. So I basically set him up to have my friend from out of town break in, and he beat the shit out of this kid. He tied him up, took all of his shit. So
yeah, maybe that was good for the kid.
Nothing left. I mean, look, he probably learned a serious lesson. He probably went to MIT.
It could have scared him straight.
I said MIT because he was an Asian kid.
Yeah, they should give that guy community service hours for beating the fuck out of that kid. He saved a life that day. Yeah.
No, I mean, so look.
But was that stuff?
What can you say?
So for you,
I regret it, but
no, of course,
that's what happened.
But that's just kind of what happens in that business.
And that was the environment that.
Do you have a lot of coworkers go to prison?
A lot of coworkers. You mean like guys that I was...
Maybe that you came up with, or like people you were friendly with, that you did business with?
Yeah, let's see. It was, you know what it was? It was after weed became really too hard to make a living selling that. They switched to other shit, and they did go down for that. I was the only one that went down that I knew of for like serious prison time for trafficking in weed.
So how'd you get busted?
So I got in trouble twice. So one of my most trusted guys, he wore a wire and used marked money. He didn't wear a wire, actually. I'm sorry. He used marked money.
And did he use marked money on purpose or on accident?
No, on purpose. Marked money is when the cops give you a handful of bills, right? And that's how they track it. That's the proof that they have at the court to go get the warrant. Because they don't raid you right away. They say, go buy it. Go make a buy from John. So he goes and does it once. Still not enough for a warrant. Goes and does it twice. Still not enough. Goes and does it the third time, all with marked money. And by that time, I'm sure I spent it or it's in circulation. Then they go get the warrant, and that's when they hit your house. And that's what happened with me.
I think I got it.
Yeah, it's
my focus started to wane.
I know I'm boring.
No, not
but anyway, so that's how. So that's how I got in trouble the first time. They they raided my house. You know.
Did they find anything the first time?
They did. They found like a bunch of pounds of weed, some money. But it was my first offense. I was squeaky clean, so I got a good lawyer. Paid my lawyer $10,000. Like I met him at like a cafe. You know, you gotta love like scummy fucking drug lawyers. So I met him, paid him, and I got off with a felony. I got a felony, but I didn't do any time. But I was on serious probation, right? And I knew if I got caught again, I was going to go down.
And then you got caught again.
Exactly. That's when I should have just quit.
Would you? So they raided you again, and you just had stuff still at your place.
They put a tracking device in a package full of money that was coming from the East Coast, and they traced it. They traced it to my place, and so they got a warrant. They found a bunch of cash, and the charge that sent me to prison was conspiracy.
What happens when you're sentenced? Is your family there and stuff?
Well, you'd hope. Yeah, mine was. Yeah,
right.
But it was like an empty courtroom. It's just, dude, it's the most like mechanical
process.
Yeah, exciting.
Damn.
Yeah.
How long did it
That's
take?
what hurts the worst, right? You're like, you're like cattle just moving through the system, you know?
How long did it take?
Well, I was in jail. I was in the county jail with no bail, right? Like we had bail money to bail me out, but I was just not granted it. They were like, no, this motherfucker
is a flight risk.
Exactly, that's right. Because they caught me with so much cash, they were like, oh, he's gonna bounce, you know. And I wouldn't have, I don't think.
I was wondering about that. Yeah,
I probably wouldn't have, because I mean,
even if you knew you were looking down at like 3 or 5 years or something like that.
That's a great question. No, I don't think so. I think I would have wrote it out. Because what are you gonna do? I mean, I could have gone to Canada, I guess. But then what? I'm not gonna be able to come home.
Yeah, because it's a life on the run. There's almost more pain in that.
Yeah, I wonder, would they let me come back though?
Yo, I had a family member who was on the run from the law, and he was gonna get his fingerprints literally changed.
Oh, right, I've heard of that.
Physically changed.
Yeah.
And then at some point, he just decided it was easier to go to jail.
Turn himself in.
He would visit his family once a year. They would have like a rendezvous for like a day.
Yeah.
And then he would get back on the lam.
Crazy. That was in the States?
No, he was not from the States.
In Colombia?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
But I gotta do all the talking.
It's your story.
I gotta do all the talking.
Your story.
That's way cooler.
This is not my story.
That's way cooler.
This is
oh my
else's.
god!
I'll ask him to do the pod though.
Yeah, you should.
But I don't foresee him saying yes.
No, probably not, dude. If he's real gangsters, like real old school guys, wouldn't be on a podcast trying to sell the idea to Hollywood.
You're a new age.
You know what I mean?
You're a new age gangster, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you've also got a whole brand new skill set and talent to. Yeah. This is just like a hook.
Yeah, exactly.
But so you get sentenced, and then
so I was in there for 4 months, right?
Oh, that's how long you were in jail?
Yeah.
Oh, that's how long you were in jail before
county jail.
Right.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And, oh my god, dude, jail is the worst.
I heard county's the worst.
I was begging to go to prison by the end. I was like, oh my god, I'm so happy I'm going to prison.
Why? Because they don't have the proper like infrastructure, right? So it's just like flooded with people.
Exactly. And you're starving all the time because like there's no money, so they can feed you like the minimum calories to keep you alive. And there's fights and people are farting.
Did you have to fight?
Yeah, dude. I fought this kid named Cameron. He was like a Nazi skinhead, dude.
Good guy?
Yeah. No, we actually became friends because we went to the same prison.
I knew you guys.
We went to the same prison. I'm like, Cam, what's up, dog?
How'd the fight go the first time?
It was good. It was a good, clean, like fair fight. He got the best of me, but like I had some good, like I landed some good ones, you know. And we went to the hole, which was great. I was like, good, get me away from these animals. Like, let me go sleep and jerk off in peace for like, you know. I think I was there for like 4 days. But yeah, so that was a fight. And then the guards will come in the middle of the night because they slip drugs in all the time, right? So if they suspect like there's heroin going around, the guards will come in and fucking wake everybody up and start tossing people's beds, just wreck the place, and they'll just bounce. They're like, all right, you guys are good. So put it back together.
Were any of the guards cool?
No, there's cool guards, but like one of them got popped for like child sex crime. Like we open up the paper and we're like, oh hey, that's Murphy. Murphy's about to be in here with us.
But Murphy, what happens to Murphy if he goes in there? I mean,
no, they're not going to put him in they're not going to put him in general population.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, he's going to be in there with the snitches and the chomos and shit.
What are chomos?
PC'd up, we say. Protective custody.
Nice.
Custody.
Do they do that in prison too?
Yeah. So that's where Bill Cosby is probably right now. He's in PC. Protective custody.
Right. Did you?
I think they're going to move him to the general population.
I heard that.
Yeah.
He's going to be the king of that.
He's famous.
And he's rich too. So if you're rich, you got guys protecting you. It's just clout, you know.
Right.
If you got money in prison, like a little bit of money, you're king.
Yeah. Did you have friends in county?
Yeah. No, I met tons of good guys in there, dude. I felt like being at camp.
Right. Right. What were you looking for in friends, or did they just kind of find each other?
You know what's so funny?
Like, were you nervous first day of school? Were you like, I hope I make friends today?
Yo, literally, that's kind of how it is. It's you think like, oh fuck all these people, but after a while, you're like, hey, why doesn't that guy like me?
Yeah.
Like you forget he's a bank robber.
You're
like, I want Roger to be my friend.
Did you keep to yourself for like
Roger
a long
killed
time?
his wife. No, I threw myself in the thick of it, right? Because I can't shut up. Like I need to be around people.
Yeah,
you know. So I'm like, why can't we all get along, guy? Like I was like the wet behind the ears guy when I went in, you know. Like
you were too optimistic about things, and people had
not
to like,
optimistic, but I wanted to laugh and bullshit, you know, and try to make the best of it. And if I ever go back, that's not going to happen. I'm going to become an animal. I've decided that.
What do you mean?
I'm going to be playing prison politics. I'm going to be fucking bartering for drugs. I'm going to, you know, be playing cards
you were just
for Top
too nice,
Ramen.
you say?
I didn't know the prison. I didn't know the way of the
lifestyle,
the environment, and what's called prison politics, right? Like, you know how we have every organization has a hierarchy in politics, right? Comedy, show business, whatever, Facebook,
activism.
You know, anything. It's so in prison it's the same way. So, but I didn't really know how to like penetrate that. I'm just not good at it, you know. And I didn't want to get in trouble again while I was inside for doing stupid shit and then get time tacked onto my sentence. But you know, if I go back, I'll have nothing to lose.
Right, but you're not going back.
No, probably not. I'd say there's an 80% chance that I won't.
I like how you're modest. Yeah.
You think that's too low?
I bet you think it's like 95, but it's like, you don't want,
I don't know.
You don't want to sound cocky.
It depends how this book sells. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Depends if mom and dad leave me anything after they
I think you just
pass from this mortal
I think you
coil.
just incentivize the Stokers to buy the book.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going for.
Let's keep J. Mitch where he belongs.
Yeah, that's it.
On the streets of LA, peddling pages, not bricks of weed.
And I think like I don't want the listeners to get confused either. Like there's so many interesting layers to what was going on that I can't, you know, me just kind of broad stroking it is not as exciting as reading it.
I think
like a
I think
narrative.
what's key is if you get a good photo for the, you know, it's like you in like a jumpsuit behind bars, just like giving like a sitcom kind of
right. I thought about that. Now, do I want to make it super serious or do I want to make it kind of tongue in cheek like that? I don't know yet.
I think tongue in cheek is better.
Tongue in cheek, and it's going to be a podcast. There's going to be a book you can buy, but there's also going to be an abridged audio.
I think you're the only guy who can do the story and do it tongue in cheek.
Mm-hmm.
But so back to prison. So did you have family and friends visit you?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, they were good about that. It was fun. But it's, you know, it's exhausting and you always get strip searched. And so by the end I was like, guys, just don't come.
Just wait.
That means I'm going to have to show
How
this
much
grown
time did
man
you
my
do?
asshole. Like a year and a half.
Did you ever get like just sad?
Oh yeah.
What was
despondent?
Like?
Despondent.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because I was incarcerated. It was because I had lost most of my money. My dream was gone. That was the hardest part about doing time. I mean, there was other hard parts, right? There was prison riots, and there was, you know, gang banging and having to get into fights and shit like that, and you know, other tense situations. But the hardest part was like, what am I going to do with my life now?
Yeah, because your whole identity was being this drug dealer,
right? And I can't go back to this, at least not right away.
Yeah, it's like you're like you vision yourself getting out, and you're like, all right, I'm out. What the fuck do I do?
Right, exactly. That was, and that's when I started writing screenplays, like stories. I didn't even know what a screenplay was, but I was like, I want to be in Hollywood.
Right.
I could be a writer.
Were there guys inside who were like, hey, you got skills, man?
I would always tell people like, I'm going to go to Hollywood. So
what would they say?
They'd be like, oh, put me in your movie, Dirk. They called me Dirk.
Dirk, like Dirk Nowitzki?
Yeah. You want to know
that's
why?
Hilarious.
This is a great story. So I had just arrived in prison after 4 months being in the county jail, right? Starving, fucking malnourished, getting in fights, sleeplessness. I'd spent a month in the hole, right? For fighting. Okay. So I'm like just seeing the sun after, what seems like forever. So I walk out onto the prison yard, right? I got my new prison issued Converse on, my denim. And I walk out there. There's a basketball game going on. And I can barely see. I'm like, my skin is pale. I'm gaunt. I'm like limping. I'm just fucked up, right? Fucked up in the game. And they see I'm tall and they go, hey, you want to play? And I'm like, oh, yeah, man, I guess so. And I went ahead and I drained like 10 3-pointers in a row to fucking win the game, dude. It was the best I've ever played to this day. And somebody from the corner goes, oh, his name's Dirk. That's Dirk. And so, and I think, honestly, I think that's what kept me from getting raped. I was literally playing for my butthole, dude. And so I was Dirk from there on out.
Were you aware that you were playing for your butthole while you were shooting?
No, I just didn't want to embarrass myself. I just wanted to have a good game. It was crazy.
Was there an epiphany afterwards where you like, yo, I just
won the respect.
I just procured my sexual safety for the rest of my time in jail.
Basically.
Or prison, rather.
Yeah, I was like, I just scored respect with like every single gang out here.
And were you
just from a basketball game? Just because I got lucky and fucking was just draining 3-pointers.
Were you surprised at how good they were in prison, or surprised at how not good they were at basketball? Like, did you think they'd be better?
No, they were good. They were good.
They were
good. I wasn't surprised at all.
It was good. It
was good. It was good.
Is
it was
the
good.
pickup better there, or the pickup that you played?
It was good run. I'd say it's like comparable to a good LA Fitness game, right? That's like a prison yard game. It's like a high quality LA Fitness game.
Are guys annoying, calling fouls, bitching about it?
Oh yeah, talking shit, getting in fights, grabbing my ass, right? And if there's like a big guy and he's like I'm backing him down, and he's kind of getting in on me, right? And he's maybe his hands getting a little too. No, not hand checking me, hand
accosting.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe his hand's moving a little too far down my waist.
Just to fuck with you?
But I'm like, this kid. No, it's because he's doing 25 years and he hasn't had any,
intimacy.
Exactly. So, and I might just let him, I might just,
Were you able to be friends with people of every race in prison?
All except the white guys.
Really?
No. Of course I was able to be friends with everybody.
So is that overstated how like tribalistic?
Well, I was in Oregon. So, every race has to, even in really hardcore prisons like in California, all the races have to interact at least and get along, because you could be working next to a Mexican guy or a black guy folding laundry, if you have a prison job or whatever. But everybody segregates themselves, which sucks, right? Because I want to play basketball and you're telling me I can't hang out with the black dudes, or I want to play dominoes. What the fuck am I supposed to do? But it's not as hardcore in Oregon. It's just not as hardcore. It was still hardcore, but it wasn't like, they would say things like, Johnny, you got to hang out with the white guys. You got to roll with us. Like, this is how it works here. And I just didn't play by the rules. Their logic is everybody sticks with themselves to keep the peace. So it is antiquated, but that mentality in prison is, this is necessary for everybody's survival. So everybody gets along separately, so as to keep the peace. Now, who knows if that's their mindset behind it.
What was your first night like in prison?
In prison or in jail?
Prison. Or maybe go over the scarier one.
Fuck, man, I slept like a rock. The first night in jail because it was so exhausting and I was starving because they arrested me before I could go home and eat, and then you're just processed and sitting for hours and hours and hours. So it's grueling, so I slept like a baby. And then you would just dream. You would dream like the most lucid dreams. You would totally forget you were in jail. Oh. And you'd wake up and it was just a fucking nightmare. You're like, oh my God.
What a
it was the worst part was waking up. Exactly.
That sounds so bad.
Exactly.
Did you have a cellmate?
Yeah, I had a couple of cellmates.
Good guys, tough roommates?
Good, yeah. I mean, clean roommates,
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. Especially the guys doing life or doing decades. They kept the cleanest room, cleanest cell because,
they're going to be there a while.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. One guy that's really fascinating. I haven't got to this part in the book yet, but that I'm going to write about. His name's James. What was his name? Yeah, James DeFranco. He was this Hell's Angel guy. Hell's Angel is the motorcycle gang, right? Of course. And he killed a dude, and so he's doing life. But he was a super nice guy. Like he was a former meth head and shit, and he killed him during a robbery. But fascinating. I would stay up all night just listening to his stories. And the level of like criminality. He lived like a Breaking Bad life.
Right.
Nuts. So, and then after he got shipped out.
What made him happy?
What made him happy? I don't know. Listening to me talk made him happy, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I would tell him about my family, and he'd be like, "Oh, that sounds really nice." Like I would tell him about my Asian sister. He goes, "God bless her." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then the craziest shit. One morning, the guards wake us up. They're like, "DeFranco, you're getting shipped out." He gets moved to a different prison because they're moving these former gang leaders. They ship them around all the time to try to disrupt
so they can't
any
get
kind of
organized.
momentum. Exactly. So he hits the yard. I get through the prison wire that same afternoon. They're like, "Yo, Jimmy just got shipped to Snake River, this other prison in Oregon. He killed a motherfucker."
At your prison, he killed someone?
At the new prison he got shipped to.
Just right away?
Right away.
Just to set the tempo?
No, somebody stepped to him. Some guy stepped to him with a knife, and he fucking cracked him, and he killed him with one punch.
Oh my God.
What? Damn.
Isn't that some fucking crazy shit?
I don't know why I'm laughing.
I was sharing stories about my family, and I told him the name of our family pet.
I'm blown
the
away by
night
this
before,
guy's
dude.
abilities.
God bless her.
Yeah.
And so, so after I got out, he was on. They tried to put him on. They put him on death row.
He
They
testified
tried
to his character?
Exactly, and they he got. I mean, he's doing life anyways, but he got off death row.
Right, because he was a good citizen. He just had to defend himself, and that's
exactly
good citizen when he got to prison.
It's incredible that they even tried to put him to death for what was clearly self-defense. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, damn, with one punch,
I was just watching the Seinfeld where George dates an inmate.
Great episode.
He's the conjugal visit sex.
That's right.
Fugitive sex.
That's fugitive sex.
He's like,
remember they come ask him, her parole officer. He's like, "Oh yeah, she talks about getting out, meeting up with old friends,
the gang, as they say." She's very smart, very crafty.
They used to have in Oregon. They used to have conjugal visits, right? So if you're married and you have good behavior, every 6 months, they would have trailers behind a prison, like long like show business movie trailers, and then your wife could come and she could spend the weekend with you. But then one time a guy got in a fight with his wife, and I think he killed his wife, and so they just canceled all the conjugal visits.
That's why we can't have nice things.
And that's not funny, but it just shows you how hard marriage is. This motherfucker hasn't seen his wife
and how psychotic
in 6 months.
Some people are
Yeah,
too.
dude, it's crazy. So, but one dude ruins it for everybody.
Yeah. He fucked up. Yeah. Do you think that guy, when he got back to prison?
I think he's probably not. I think he's probably in there forever.
But do you think the other guys in prison fucked him up for fucking
God,
it up?
who knows? Who knows? Probably.
I'd be pretty pissed.
They don't even allow
I was going to
cigarettes.
see my wife in a week, and you just blew it.
I know.
Because you don't know how to take a joke.
Seriously. But they don't allow cigarettes now. It's crazy. It's such deprivation. It's horrible. Because other inmates were complaining about smoking.
Hilarious.
So it's non-smokers complain. It's just like society. It's just like larger society.
So they have just Juuls now.
What?
They have just Juuls now.
What are
vapes?
Oh, vapes. No, they have cigarettes, but it's illegal.
I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Is there?
Sorry, I don't know what Juuls are.
No, it's hilarious.
Younger demo.
I'm keeping that in.
It's a USB port with
Oh,
nicotine.
fucking A. Goddamn.
USB stick.
I saw guys with wads of currency in prison. Wads of money from selling tobacco. So it's a good business to have if you're in jail.
Do you think going to prison has made you a better person overall in the long scheme of things?
I think so. I think it was. Yeah, I do. I don't know that it's changed who I am fundamentally, but it's certainly it's taught me a lesson. Not like a lesson about. Yeah, it's beaten me down. It's scared
Humbled
me.
you.
It's a deterrent. That's all it's done for me. It didn't teach me anything while I was inside. It didn't. I didn't really learn a lot. I learned that I love to write. I've always kind of known that.
Do you think you would have got into this career path without it?
I don't think so. I was going to move to LA. I was planning on moving to LA, but I don't know that I would have landed in doing comedy. You know,
prison's the inciting incident that turned you into an author.
I think so.
Full on cultural.
I think so. In the world
icon.
of script writing, you're right.
I'm just projecting your future. A cultural icon. Johnny Mitch.
I like that.
We got to say too, for the audience at home, like I know these are some, sordid tales, but in my time knowing you, you've been a totally upstanding citizen. Yeah.
Oh, that means so much.
I mean, just like in our interaction, like you're always cool, honest, reliable, like funny, like all the traits that you would look for in a friend. You personify.
Good friend.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate that, guys, and that's how I always tried to be, even when I was doing my dirt. Like I would, even with like people that I would sell to, like I tried to treat it like it was a real business. I was trying to be ethical because I'm like, there's more money if everybody just behaves. And, obviously I was telling stories about, not being as ethical, and those are my biggest regrets are hurting people the few times that we actually did. But it's nothing that I couldn't come back from. You know what I mean? So I think there's some redemption there. And I think probably from what happened to that kid, that Asian kid that I helped, get robbed and beat up, I'm like, I paid for it. I feel like I deserved a fair sentence.
Time.
Yeah. That's kind of how I think of it now. Like maybe I didn't deserve to go to prison for selling weed, but I deserved it for what I did to that kid.
You brought your karma back.
Exactly. Yeah. I felt like my karma evened out a little bit. Exactly.
So you're still working on the relation with your dad. You guys are both trying to like come more to a middle. How's the rest of your fam? Are they all guys chummy or?
They're good. I mean, they're not as motivated as they should be.
Oh, so you're on. I was gonna say, are they judging you? You're like,
I'm judging them. I'm judging them. I'm judging my siblings, man. I'm like, you guys need to fucking go out and go get it.
Right.
Yeah.
They're a little happy with the status quo.
Yeah, they're townies now. They're townies. They live in Portland. They live a mile from my parents. They're there all the time. It's like I went the totally opposite way, Right.
Where's the adventure?
Where's the adventure? Strike out on your own, Yeah.
Do they ever go like, motherfucker?
I mean,
or do you say that to them, or is that more just you talking to us?
I don't talk like that to them.
Yeah, it's tough.
But it's mostly my brother, because my sister is, again, not genetically related. So if whatever she does, I'm like, oh well, she wasn't from the tree. You know what I mean? So if the apple falls far from it, just
How is she doing though?
She's fine. She's basic.
Do you find, are you honest with most people now about your life before what you do now?
I don't like talking about it that much.
I can feel that a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think it pigeonholes you a little bit?
And that's why I stopped. Like I talked about it for my first year on stage, and I stopped doing that because I'm like, I'm not that comic that's just like trying to make this my hook on stage.
Right.
Like I'm funny across the board. I'm just a funny guy. I don't want to have any kind of he's this guy, right? Some people have done that, but I don't want to. I want to just be funny. Like I want to be able to talk about everything. So, but friends with you guys, I'm cool with it because I know your questions are genuine and they come from a good place instead of like condescending. You know what I mean? Because people get flippant a lot when they ask me about it, and it's
What do you mean?
Well, it's like they ask me questions about prison, like because they want to insinuate like I got butt raped or something, right? Instead of like
being
actually
sincere.
Asking like, or are you curious to know, oh wow, how did that come about and how did that affect you and what was that experience like,
Right.
And then I feel fury, and I feel the rage of being incarcerated again. I have to bury that down, you know what I mean?
Is it hard to think about?
No, I don't think about it anymore that much.
That's great though.
But I have to get in the mindset when I write the book. I get really dark. I put on Pusha T, or like
Novocaine.
No, it's a song with Beanie Siegel, and it's called "Keep Dealing."
And it's just about property.
It's of course, dog. What a fine piece of motion picture that is.
Yeah.
Oh man, I took that out of my DVD player halfway through, and I opened my door and I just chucked it out into the street. I was so disgusted with that piece of dog shit. But the soundtrack was pretty good.
I bet, yeah.
But what were we saying? Oh, but I listened to that, and I get in like this dark mindset to write the book. So I think the book is going to be darker than it is like quirky. Like, meh, look at me, I went to prison. Because it's just more entertaining this way. It's more like I tried to write it almost like it was a classic in a way. Like not surrealistic, but
I bet
it's hard for me to describe.
I bet it'll actually probably be funnier that way because it's your natural.
Yes.
You're not trying too hard.
Exactly.
So the way you talk that'll be like, oh, that was hilarious. It's not like you're trying to
I'm not
jokes.
going for the joke.
He just is funny.
I'm not going for the. But a lot of comedians do write jokes in their books. They go for the joke, which is fine. Like Colin Quinn did that with his coloring book, and it was a great book. But I don't do that here. I'm just ironic and using my voice and stream of consciousness.
I prefer that.
Yeah. So.
And you also told me that
I'm so excited for this.
You don't get.
I want to come
nervous.
back on, guys, and
we'll have you
pitch
back
it
on
when
for
it's
sure.
ready to go.
You don't get nervous with any of this other stuff because of what you've been through.
Oh yeah, like comedy, like being on stage.
Yeah.
Oh no, fuck that. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing. You know? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Oh wow, I got to do 7 minutes at the Improv Lab, or your lawyer.
Sounds scary.
Your lawyer calls you down when you're in the county jail. You're between glass, and he's like, "Yeah, the DA wants to give you 7 years in prison, and you're 24." That's scary. You know what I mean?
Did you ever ask the lawyer, like, you gonna be able to get me out of here? Or were you like, you knew you were going to do
I was such a dick to him. I was such a dick. We had to change lawyers because I was just abusing him. I was so mad.
Really?
You know, yeah. I was like, but also he was kind of fucking up a little bit too.
So
but I did pull this one. I was like, yeah, get me out of here.
You did say that?
It's so simple, right? It's just so simple, John. He could just get you out of here. Yeah, no, I told my lawyer that. I was that guy. I was like, yeah, get me out of here. And he said to me, John, it doesn't work like that.
Wait, so how did you respond to that?
Fuck. He goes, yeah, you're screwed, dude.
He actually said that?
Yeah, he goes, they found all your money.
Oh, dude, I'd be kind of pissed if my lawyer said that. You're screwed, dude. I
was like, what kind of communication skills?
Manifest some positivity, dude, or get out of my face.
Oh, dude, I'm like, can you envision like Disneyland for me?
Dude, I would love to see you in prison. That would be
what?
Man.
Is he too pretty?
Dude, he's way too positive, man.
That's what I mean. Like, how would his positivity jive with prison?
It might be uplifting. It'd be uplifting in like...
No.
It'd be uplifting in like a good prison, like a Nordic prison. Like he might like...
Oh, I'd crush it there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you'd fit in too. People would be speaking Dutch to you, and you'd be like, no.
You want to play some Xbox? I'd be like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You want to? I don't know.
You want to play Xbox?
I think you'd write 80 books from the pen. You'd be like the most prolific.
Dude, if you guys got locked up right now, can you imagine your fan mail, dude? It would be insane.
Right.
And getting mail... Imagine that. In 2019, you're getting letters.
Right.
Dude, it's like DMs.
They didn't let you use computers ever or anything like that?
No, although I think they're
starting to do it now.
Not computers, but you can actually FaceTime. Like they have machines where you can call a motherfucker and look at him while you talk.
Dude, I think they should let prisoners have cell phones. Or would they do that too much evil shit with it?
Probably.
They should have cell phones that can just call their families.
Yeah, their family in Juarez saying, yes, make the next shipment. The heroin is ready to go.
Who are you talking to? My mom.
So, Johnny, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Guys, it was my pleasure. Thank you for having me on. And, I can't wait to share the final product with you.
Dude, I remember the first time I met you said, yeah, I just got off parole. It's like so nonchalant.
I can't believe I shared that. Like, it's almost embarrassing now, you know? Like, I'm such an overshare. I just love people. You know, I love my friends. So I want you guys to be a part of it.
When I met you, I thought the fact that you had been to prison was about like the 10th most off-putting thing about you.
Oh, wow. Thanks. I appreciate it. What was like, give me like...
Your height. Your height.
That's on my list. Yeah. That's on my list.
Yeah.
You see, I brought my list.
Yeah, I just got parole. I'm like, so you're gonna get a sundae or what?
Yeah, he was like, you want to? Okay.
Get a milkshake.
Yeah.
Do you find it helps you with the gals in LA or hurts you?
No, it only helps.
Right.
Yeah. This whole prison thing was just a scheme to get laid.
But it's worked out that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you and I share something, right? We both have boner problems.
Yeah. Oh my God. We haven't talked about that in so long, but I guess that's true, right? And I think that's if we can be candid for a minute, I think part of the problem is too much masturbation, too much porno.
I'm done with porn, but still too much on the MB.
Because you can always find something to.
Well, I'm just doing brain power, but I'm doing it too much.
That's what I mean. Yeah. You can always dig deep in your memory, and prison is good exercise for that.
And concoct some pretty specific
situations.
Movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I always feel so depleted after. Maybe I'm sensitive to it now because I'll go for stretches for like a week.
Right.
Like last week, I didn't do it at all.
Wow.
And I felt like I feel like good.
You're my hero, dude.
I think it's a lot of chi to let go of.
Yeah.
If you can corral it, you're better off for it.
Yeah.
But I've been doing it for so long that I can go about my day. Like I'm almost impervious to it. But it's definitely not healthy, and I got to figure out. I mean, it's healthy, but the way I do it is not.
Could be healthier.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, prison is a good exercise in like spank bank. Like, how much can I draw from? You know.
Dude, I forgot we have questions.
Yeah.
I mismanaged time. All right, what up? We got Joey. What up, Chad and JT? I'm a huge fan of the pod. Thanks for always spreading the positive vibes. I'm reaching out because my squad faces a dilemma that has been going on for some time. Most of us have relatively high stoke levels and are generally lit, but one of our dogs has been constantly down in the dumps and projects that energy to the squad. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with facing some negativity from time to time, but the months have been adding up and it's starting to lower the whole squad's stoke level. Let it also be known that the homie isn't a schmoll. He's just been professing some schmoll characteristics as of late. We've tried giving him motivational talks and turned to some law of attraction YouTube vids, but they seem to be no good. How can we help our boy reach optimal stoke? Thanks again for all you do for the stokers. Keep that bronze at all costs. Sincerely, Joe.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell fucking yeah. Joe.
Dude,
wow, you guys are fucking rolling, dude.
Dude, I like that they're going for the law of attraction YouTube vids. Nice. Dude, yeah, with this, I mean, you know, I'm stoked that you guys are trying to help him out. You're trying to lift him out of those dumps, you know, but at the end of the day, it's hard to force people to do that. You know, I think the best thing you can do is lead by example. You know, good moods are contagious. So if you're just like a shining light of stoke, then I think it should sooner or later catch on, or a little bit, just rub off on him. You know what I mean?
You know, my dog, I think it sounds like your bro is suffering from clinical depression.
Maybe that's
so. I would remember that his like schmollness, like it's probably a fly in your beer bong of fun, but it's probably even shittier for him. So I would encourage him to go see a therapist, and maybe if it's pretty heavy duty, my dog, maybe he should even get medicated depending on how serious it is. Yeah.
You want me to add to this?
Yeah.
Please do.
I mean, look, if he's in any way getting in the way of you getting poontang, you got to cut him, dude. Like, I know he's got problems and shit, but you can't be fucking with the anti-poon, you know?
He didn't mention that he was affecting the poon.
Good. But schmolls tend to do that, you know what I mean? So.
All right, here we go. Hey, last week I shoved several marshmallow up my dog Samson B's. Okay, hold on, let me try this again. Hey, last week I shoved several marshmallows up my dog Samson's bee-hole while he was sleeping. I was blacked out, so I don't remember it. I didn't learn about it until 2 days later when I was slapping the salami in my dorm room. But he is fucking pissed. He's in my squad, but he's kind of a schmoll. I flicked the bean in his head one time and came on his pillow just to fuck with him. Should I try to resolve this conflict with him and get him back into the squad, or just let him roam free since he was a schmoll anyways? The reason I'm asking is because this schmoll has his place in the crew, even though he's an annoying bitch-ass pussy. Samson was pissed because he went to hook up with a chick after he woke up, and when he took off his pants to get a beach, 4 brown marshmallows popped out of his pants and onto the floor.
Are those dookies? What are 4 brown marshmallows? I don't get that.
The one he shoved up his ass.
Oh, so they were actually marshmallows.
Dude, I think this guy is not interpreting his juvenile behavior for what it is, which is, I think, inhumane and bordering on criminal.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's the schmoll, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
this guy sounds like a sodomite.
Yeah, you prank someone and you go for the bee-hole?
Yeah, seriously.
How do you shove marshmallows over dude's bee-hole?
Yeah, dude, that's like
I think
shoving cheese through a fucking grater or something. That's tough.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it fits nicely though. Actually, I don't know.
No, I was just saying like the whole act of going there. You know?
Oh yeah, no, that's insane. That's not cool.
Especially if the guy didn't say you're allowed in his beehole.
Yeah, if there was some kind of agreement before.
Strider stuck his finger up my butthole, but we were like horsing around and I consented.
Right.
This is like...
It sounds like he might have slipped something in this guy's drink before shoving the marshmallows up there.
What?
This is like a frat move. This is like a Mississippi State frat move.
Well, he also said he remembered while he was slapping the salami.
Right,
Yeah.
and something about
He didn't even need to say that.
something about ejaculating too.
He came on
his
the dude's
pillow.
bed.
Yeah, which I also think was way too far.
He's like,
Do we have to turn this over to the police?
I kind of felt that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, he's slapping the salami. He's like, oh fuck, that's right.
Oh, that's right. I've just made a fucking a s'more out of this guy's asshole.
I think you need to get sober for a year and really and then at that point maybe you'll get some distance from this stuff and you'll be able to reflect on and realize you don't want to be the kind of guy who's shoving marshmallows up people's asses.
No, unless that's their thing, and you know. I mean, was it? Yeah, that's interesting. That's a lot of marshmallows. I don't think you could get 4 up my ass. Oh, I'm certainly gonna try, but
Dude, that's a fucking 4.
yeah, you're like, you think you can get 4 marshmallows up your ass? Yeah, fat chance.
What up, Chad and JT? I come to you with 2 questions that coincide. But first, I need to dap you for having a great podcast and bringing up my stoke when it's down. A little about me. I'm a senior in high school in the PNW. I also have big anxiety problems and troubles with confidence. My question may be a little pointed towards JT, but here it goes. I was having a thing with this girl, treated her like a dime, and then she made a list about me saying she didn't want to date me because I'm a virgin. Then a couple weeks later, started smashing some other guys. Maybe my confidence go down a bit. I was wondering how to strap back up and get back to business after a defeat like this. Along with this, I'm applying to some colleges in SoCal, and I've gotten into some, but with a bright future ahead, I'm not really enjoying high school. But I don't want to look back and regret not liking high school. Looking for some insight. Sorry for the long question. Thanks, bros.
Wow, I like this kid. I don't like what this girl did to him, but you mind if I lead off with this?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you got a bright future, man. You're way more advanced than I was at that age. Don't worry about not being a virgin. Do you want to lose your virginity? If you do, then, go out and get it. If not, don't sweat it, because there's be plenty of sex and plenty of bad sex you're going to have to get through before, you get to some good shit. So fuck her, dude. Don't worry about it, man. You're the bomb. You're money, baby.
I agree. That was perfect.
Sup, Stokers. I have a controversial subject I'm staring in the face that I don't know how to handle. So I've been with this banging chick. She's cool as fuck. We hooked up and have had talks about becoming more serious. The topic of my hog came up. She said that she wouldn't be here if my hog wasn't the size that it is. My question is, should I be hyped that she thinks I have a nice dong, or should I be concerned that that's the only thing she likes about me?
Wow. Okay. Thanks for calling up and bragging, motherfucker. Good problem to have, wouldn't you say?
I do. I think there's worse problems in the world for sure.
Yeah.
I think I would just tell her, like, hey, like, I love that you love my dong, but I need to know that you love other parts of me too.
Mm-hmm.
And then she could say things like, hey, oh man, that's a beautiful big dick, but also some very nice pubes.
It's 2019. This kid doesn't have any pubes.
It's a nice smooth pelvis.
Kid, what you got to do is, I don't even know if you're a kid, but it sounds like it. What you got to do is you have to test her with non-sexual things, like ask her to do shit, go for a hike, meet your parents. If you want to get serious with her, then that's what you have to do. That's when you find out if you like somebody, is when you do other shit besides bone. So if she doesn't want to do any of that with you, then it is just about your hog. And so just keep wearing her down until that gets old, and then move on.
What's up, fearless leaders of Stoke Nation? So I recently boned this chick, and now she wants to film a porno with her. She wants me to film a porno with her. She says that we'll split the guap made from the vids 50-50. Getting paid to bone sounds like a win-win, but I'm concerned about how it could affect my rep socially and professionally. But on the other hand, I'm horny, and I like money. Should I listen to my wrench and put forth an immaculate display of boning for the world to feast their eyes on? Or should I listen to my voice of reason that ensures I keep my rep intact? I appreciate the help in advance, bros. Chip.
I'm blown the fuck away right now. Your fans are awesome.
They have huge hogs and they get paid to bone.
Yo, okay, I'm just gonna run with this. I'm gonna take your show over for a little bit here because I'm starting to feel it. So when I first got out of prison, I considered moving down to Hollywood to get into adult films for quick cash. Okay, probably not worth it because unless you've got a serious hog and you just are that guy, it's probably not going to work out. So then you're just going to have a viral video of you floating around. You might just have one good fuck video, and then it just gets 5 million views, but you don't get any money or a career out of it. So I would think twice about that, but you should definitely just bone on camera, for your own posterity.
Yeah, I'd say if it's a career choice, like put some serious effort into it, do some practice rounds, make sure you watch yourself on camera first, understand your angles, understand your good side, learn how to work the camera, maybe think of faces to look at the camera, just a good grunts, don't, if you're going to choose this as a career, do not half-ass it, but if you're not trying to get paid for it, then I'd avoid sending a video to the world.
Touche, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been such an avid fan of porn, but I would recommend if you're not all the way sure you want to do it, then don't do it. Be 100% sure before you do it.
Yep.
Because you can always go and do porn, but you can't go and undo
porn. Yeah, absolutely.
And for your debut, if that's your route, study the big dogs.
That's right.
Study Lexington Steel.
Yep.
So my bros brought up a really good question. I figured I'd get your opinion. Which establishes dominance more, peeing in the center of the toilet or the inside of the rim?
Center of the toilet. You gotta make that noise.
That's it.
Let the toilet know that your hog's there and it's ready to play.
Dude, I think the most badass thing you can do is, and this is a trick answer, but is piss yourself. I think that's the most dominant move every time.
100%.
When I used to be playing volleyball or sometimes on the dance floor, I just fucking pissed myself.
Yeah.
Just walk around like, what?
That's interesting. Yeah, if you own it, if you can own pissing yourself, there's no greater power, and everybody will think you're crazy and leave you alone.
Yeah.
So if you ever go to prison, your first day, pee your pants, okay? Everybody will stay out of your way.
Is that what you did?
I shit myself, actually. No, I told you what I did. I drained a bunch of 3-pointers. So everybody's got to find their niche when they get locked
used to
up.
Dude, that's like the coolest.
Oh, yeah, it's a great story. Can I tell that story again?
No, you nailed it.
I didn't nail it, but whatever. Anyways.
Oh, you want it again? Yeah, go. I mean, we're kind of short on time.
No, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. It's fine.
I used to pee myself every day after I got off work, and one day I did it when I was still on the clock, and they fired me.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's true. I was leaving the Marriott, and I thought I had already clocked out, and I fucking pissed myself to celebrate the day being over.
I can't believe you had a job.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just for a month. Yeah, just to try
and
it
you
out.
pissed yourself 30 times or 31 times?
I didn't get into it till like a weekend, so I pissed myself like 22 times.
Awesome.
I just stare at my friends who are still working and just fucking wet myself.
Yeah. Dope. That's sounds like you got a strong recommendation.
All right, last question. Too much content, not enough life stokage. Stokes of stokers of all that is stoking in Stokesville and whatnot. So I'm going to be the first to acknowledge that I'm far from what I would guess is your ideal demo for the baddest of all podcasts. I'm 34, married, 2 beautiful kids, construction worker, musician from Texas. But please know what I lack in youth and broadening. I make up 100-full and enthusiasm for you dudes and your overall message. Your pod is comedy gold. But what drives me and hooks me like a god-dying marlin in the open seas is your IG content. Chad, you always have and always will kill me on the IG stories. Legend of the century. JT, your questions to Joe are so next level and thought-provoking. Babe of the century. Thank you both. Anyways, I know you dudes are super self-aware and honest about your lives and addiction, so I wanted to bounce this off you and get your thoughts. I'm a part-time songwriter who travels and plays songs on the weekend after my day job is through. I'm like 11 years into this and finally starting to find success. I'm getting dangerously close financial-wise to thinking about saying fuck it and trying to do music full-time. So things are going well. But my question is this. How do you guys balance relying on time spent promoting and creating content on social media, i.e. your phones, with the rest of your lives? On a super small scale compared to what you guys are doing, I've built a decent following trying to make funny, relevant content that is helping to draw people into music and come to my shows. But I find myself time after time being way too addicted to having my phone in my hand. I've become way more aware now that I have kids. I'll catch them begging for my attention while I'm chuckling at a meme or some dumb, mindless shit, and I want to punch myself in the balls. Anyways, this might be pulling the curtain back so far, so feel free to answer off pod. But how do you guys have some sort of regimen to try and stay present in the real world versus phone world? I obviously need the media of socials to help promote shows and grow the brand in this day and age, so I can't say peace to Zuckerberg completely, as much as I would like to sometimes. But need to figure out some sort of healthy balance. Any advice is appreciated, my dudes.
Dude, with the phone, it's like a fucking... It'll just keep reeling you in with that addiction, so you just got to physically place it somewhere where it won't bother you. Because if it's in your vicinity, you're gonna look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if I go to write or something, if I'm trying to like use my whole dome, I leave my phone at some other place. You know, I'll drive to like a coffee shop,
Right.
leave my phone at
Yep.
home, and have some anxiety. And after about 10 minutes, I feel like peace.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yeah. You pick out like 3 times a day where you do something without your phone. Go to
Yeah.
the grocery store. You don't really need your phone. Go to the gym if you can stand the music that they play. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's tough.
That's tough. That's a tough one. I can't do that. But you're right. And then, honestly, if I don't have any errands to do, I will just meditate. Like I meditate twice a day. So boom, the phone goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
But it's really hard.
I don't know how to do it. Yeah,
It's really hard.
it's hard. Yeah, maybe like, yeah, keep it far from you and like set up a window of time maybe where you're not allowed to look at it, like
Yeah.
6 to 8 or something. I don't know how much time your kids need.
Yeah,
Yep.
geez, it seems like these kids really need a lot from you. Tell them to quit being so selfish, you know? Daddy's got a fucking career to promote, you know?
Yeah, when the kid, yeah, but when the kids are around, to be that either like I'm doing business or just leave it. Like, have you like your wife put it somewhere? You know, just be like, honey, take this phone.
My dad was always on his phone at my little league games, but I really didn't care because I was so bad. I was like, yeah, don't watch.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just fucking embarrassing myself out here. Yeah, dude. So maybe put the phone away, but keep chasing that career, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You sound like you got like a good thing going.
Show your kids that it's possible.
Yeah. But if you ignore them with the phone, then they'll grow up to be artists. So it's really a win-win, you know?
Chad,
I like that thought.
who is your legend of the week?
My legend of the week, I think I might share it with Johnny here, is Brody Stevens.
Amen.
Some of you may or may not be aware, he passed away last week. And, dude, he was just, like, one of my favorite comics to watch on stage, like, by far. Like, I'd watch him close out the Comedy Store numerous times. One of the most entertaining guys on stage because the song he would come up to, do you remember that song? It was, like, this, like, heavy metal song.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he would just have, like, the guy play it, and he'd walk on. It was, like he was truly unique, you know. There's
Mhm.
really no one else like him, and the sweetest guy too. I had the chance. He remembered my name, like, you know, after first meeting. He really kind of.
Yeah.
He was one of those guys, those sweet guys who would just remember your name after meeting him once.
Yeah. Everybody says that about him. Never
Yeah.
remembered my name. Talked a
Yeah.
bunch. But whatever.
He's
That's okay, though.
he's such a sweet guy though, and yeah, man, he's just a total legend. I'll really miss him. Do you share the same
Yeah.
legend?
Because
you want to expand?
I mean, I find myself when I say guys, when I use that exasperation, like when a joke doesn't land, I realize I stole that from Brody.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people have borrowed from him.
Yeah.
You know, it's so he's original. Like he's really
He's so unique.
It's unreal. It almost makes me depressed because I'm like, God, am I just like a writer? Like I gotta get my thing.
Yeah.
He's so unique, and that's intangible. That's intangible. He was so real. There's no faking that. He was so real. It was just he was. There'll never be guys aren't like that anymore.
I remember one time I saw him. It was like a crowd of like 20 people, and they're just like, and he's like, "What is going on? I have 86,000 followers on Periscope compared to some geek on YouTube."
That's right.
Dude, the way he used the
That's
word
right.
geek was so. I was like laughing about that for like 4 days after. He's
You
like,
got it.
He's like, you got these geeks on YouTube on a billboard, 86,000 followers on Periscope.
He would share all of like he was so inside sometimes too.
Yeah.
Guys, I was sick, but I can't miss these spots. Okay.
Yeah, I should be getting a chuckle off Cadence alone.
I remember on his show, Enjoy It, Chelsea Handler was trying to like admonish him for always being on all the time. And she's like, it's really hard. And before she can say to take, he's like, to do. It was so
You
funny.
got it.
Dude, he had some great stand-up jokes, too. He'd be like, sometimes I go to the batting cages just to play catch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's a
get
great
BO in the shower.
Did you guys hear this
one.
one?
My mom threw her keys at me.
I got molested as a kid. The guy, they gave him 6 years in prison. He was only supposed to get 3, but I was in a construction zone. That's like one of the best. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Yeah. So
Dude,
we can
he'd
all
be very
agree on
missed,
that.
man.
He did our show at the Improv Lab, and he comes up and he's at the end of the show, just arms raised. He's like, "Your headliner's here." So fun.
I'm connecting.
Pushing, positive, push, believe, push, believe.
All right, so my legend of the week is Ethan Jensen. Ethan Jensen is a young stoker. He told me he was swimming in the state meet with his team. And,
Is that some kind of gay euphemism?
No. And they kept me posted on the happenings, and they won state.
Nice.
Ethan Jensen won state.
Hell yeah, Ethan.
And so, yeah, I'm proud of you, man. Good job. All right, Chad, who is your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is the Shake Your Tail Feather music video.
Dude.
Wow.
Oh.
Well, I like it too because P. Diddy, Nelly, and Murphy Lee are all just chopping it up at a bar in fucking Miami beforehand. Just like, man, what kind of girl do you like? And then I like when the bartender's like, "What's your name?" to Murphy Lee. He's like, "Murphy Lee, mommy."
Very cool.
But I just love the music video because, you know, it just makes me feel like I'm in Miami with my boys, you know, just like at the beach, bronzing, you know, just fucking in it. And you're just like, shake your tail feather. It makes me want to shake my tail feather, you know? Just get after it. It makes me want to watch Bad Boys 2. I love that movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know those movies that are just like anchors? They just put you in that like good spot where you're just like, I remember being like 15 watching MTV, how they made this music video. And I'm just like, yeah, that's, you know, Will Smith, baby. So guys, Stokers, if you haven't watched it, I recommend you watch it, you know. I love that early 2000s rap. It's just the best. Hip-hop.
It's got the sirens at the beginning.
Woo, woo.
Bad Boys 2. That's one of those movies you can just turn on at any point.
Yes.
And it's dope. You know what I mean? That's one of the best movies ever.
Yes.
That's an incredible film.
Yes.
Dude, the part where
Action movies.
the kid comes to take Martin Lawrence's daughter to prom,
Classic.
and even though
Classic.
Mike and what's Martin
They're
Lawrence's
beefing.
character? They're beefing,
Yeah.
but they still come together to mess with the kid, and they both do the same joke. They go, 17,
You look 30.
look 30. All right.
Hold on.
Is that
Oh, I love this shit.
I just want to do that intro. I'm Murphy Lee, mommy.
he improvised that line,
Good acting on the part of those three.
Mr. Lee. Johnny, who is your babe of the week?
Kendra Lust, MILF porn star. I thought I took babe to mean literally. So, and in kind of in honor of this new bit I'm doing about watching porn for so long, like I've seen girls go from barely legal casting couch to straight MILF stars. I got to go with Kendra Lust. She's a super sweet girl too, or woman, I should say. I met her one time in a LA Catch nightclub, and I was like chatting her up. I was like, "Hey, I'm a huge fan of your work." She was super nice. Not as hot in person, but so yeah, if you're a fan of MILF porn, I can't recommend her enough. Why are you staring at me aghast right now?
No, because my babe of the week is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Supreme Court Justice. Dude, she's a beast, man. She was going to like Ivy League law school, supporting her husband who had cancer and raising a 2-year-old at the same time. And she just always went at her job with precision and intelligence. And she's still kicking, and she's super old. So, I think she does kind of deserve this weird superheroification that she's gone through pop culturally.
Well, I think we're diverse on this podcast. You know, we can go MILF porn or Supreme Court Justice
Or Bad Boys 2 music
That's
video.
It. That's it.
And I really like Kendra Lust, too.
It's all, but you don't watch porn anymore, so
No.
I feel bad bringing it up.
No, don't worry about it.
I'm not that familiar with her canon.
She's brilliant.
Oh yeah, and I mean just yeah.
Did I use that word properly?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you
Dope.
make up words, too. So that's part of the flow, baby.
Chad reminds me of E40, the rapper. He'll be making up slang on the spot. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
40 water.
40 water. 40 water. That's right. He's a West Coast cat. Yes. My dog.
40
wish I
My
was hip
dog.
to it.
You motherfuckers are dope.
Thank you, dude.
Thanks.
God damn.
You're cool, too.
I fuck with you.
Nah, fuck with
I
you,
fuck
dude.
with you.
Thank you, dog.
Thank you, dude. The feelings are mutual. Chad, who is your beef of the week?
Oh shit.
My beef of the week is with Yelp.
Take it to him.
All right. Do you want to follow it up with anything or just Yelp?
I was just gathering up my beef. Dude, Yelp, I got 2 words for you. Fuck you. No, I just, you know what? I just think it's like, I feel sorry for, because as you guys know, I ran my own little surf school for a little while, and to have your whole business be at the mercy of just some like anonymous fuck on the internet,
some snitch.
I think it's so unfair. Like that you're like I would live in fear every day, because my whole business ran on Yelp. I sold Yelp ads. So like that's how I started. That's how I got in the game, baby. That's like how I was like went from like dime bags to like pounds.
That's right. That's right.
Talking in your terminology,
Fuck
but
yeah.
in terms of like soft tops and wetsuits, dog. So I was like, all right, I'm promoting my biz through Yelp ads. The return wasn't great. First off, they really kind of muffed me on that. They didn't disclose some details. Like I thought it was month to month. They're like, no, you signed an 8-month thing. I'm like, man, that and that. And then the fact that basically if I got one bad review, there were so many other surf schools that if I didn't have like the 5-star thing, and it was like 4.5, people would be looking through and they'd be like, automatically be like, nope, not going for that one because it's 4.5.
Right.
So you're just at the mercy of these websites, and there's not much of a filter going on.
Right,
someone could really just like go in there and be like, I'm just gonna give him a terrible review, and then your whole business could be kaplooey. So my beef is also with kind of people who write reviews.
Oh God.
It's like you go to a restaurant and you write a review, it's like, dude, go to fucking McDonald's.
Find something to do with your time.
Go like it's just go do some squats.
No shit. Right.
Always a healthy alternative.
You have bad service once, all right, maybe that person was having a bad day.
Exactly.
Go
do Meals on Wheels, whatever.
Why don't you go donate?
Go sell a dime bag.
Go sell a dime bag.
Whatever.
Yeah, bitch.
Johnny,
fucker,
who is your beef of the week?
Oh man, I was gonna call him out, but I'm not. I don't have that kind of clout yet. It was some cat. It's some cat in the scene. He's a short dude. He's a short, bald dude. He looks like a thumb. And he's just got a problem with me from jump, just based off of how I look. You know what I mean? Every time I talk to him, I try to engage him. I try to be friendly. That's just in my nature. Like my nature is never antagonisms. It's always trying to be one of brotherhood first. You know what I mean? And every time he sees me, I try to be homies with him. He's like, "Oh, you're just so tall and good looking," and I'm like, "Okay, but motherfucker, don't you have anything else to say?" I guess it's a beef with dudes that have low self-esteem and that project that onto me like it's my fault.
I've
you
seen
know what I mean?
Stuff happen.
Like as a tall dude, and then we all know about short man syndrome, right?
Yeah,
and that is a thing, and it remains. It's like, hey man, that's just the way the fucking meat falls off the bone. And that's not my fault. You got to grow the fuck up. I'm trying to be nice to you. Done nothing to you. So I don't know. I feel a little bullied by this cat. And so that's my beef. And I'm thinking about calling him out. Like, how in LA everybody's just passive and deals with it. If he says anything kind of like snippy or passive aggressive to me again, I'm going to pull him to the side and he's going to get a spanking.
I think I know who it is.
You do. Exactly.
How'd you know?
He just
just the thumb description on it.
Oh, really?
I'm like, there's one guy who definitely looks like a thumb.
Have you had bad experiences with him as well?
Actually, to be honest, he's very nice to me.
Oh,
he's
really?
nice to everybody, and that's what kills me. Is like, this fucking guy.
But he does make those comments to me. He's like, oh, everything in your life is so nice. I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to. It's pretty great. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, but he's got a sweet gig, so like he's doing. I'm like, you're doing better than me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is when you interact with people and they immediately just talk about how much better your life is, and it's like, all right, well, how am I supposed to?
It's a hard place to start a conversation.
It's almost like race.
Yeah. Well, it's so much about the person, and it has so little to do with the person.
I know. And I should just let it ride, maybe. I don't know.
No. What I mean is, it's like that. It's annoying because like a person will go up to like if someone's not a good fighter, they'll go up to like a person who is a good fighter and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up, tough guy? You gonna like punch me?" And you're like, they haven't even done anything like fightery yet. You're just taking what you know. Yeah. And like defining them by that thing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Like they're not just that's just like their thing.
Yeah. That's kind of the reason I stopped talking about prison on stage too. Like because I didn't feel like I was funny enough yet. Because a couple of like snippy people in the scene, they bring that up every time I try to talk to them.
Sure.
It's like, and it's just to hurt me. And I want to get violent
or they
bad.
just want to put you in that that
they want to pigeonhole.
Yeah,
me. Yeah,
and they want to filter like anything you say after that. Like you're like, oh, I like Diet Coke. They're like, oh. Yeah, because you're a prison guy.
Exactly.
And you're like, no, I actually just like Diet Coke.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's a prison guy thing.
Yeah, that's a prison thing for sure.
Yeah, I get that shit sometimes too for just like being from like, it's not as
Orange
sympathetic.
County?
But yeah, being from like an affluent neighborhood.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Like I'll be like, you gonna get like cheese on your nachos? I'm like, it upsets my stomach. They're like, all right, rich boy. I'm like, well, I knew other fat rich people.
That's good fun though. That's good fun.
I guess it's better. Yeah.
I've busted your balls about that a few times.
No, you're actually really nice about it.
But I feel like I can do that. You know, there's boundaries. There's when something's coming from a good place or not. I think
you'll say it where there's still like a baseline like respect for my humanity under it. Exactly. You know what I mean? Some people just be like, "Shut the fuck up! You don't have a worthwhile opinion." You're like, "Dude, I'm a fucking human being."
Yeah,
but
exactly. I can't control it.
I get kind of like whenever people are like, "Oh, you're a pretty boy" or whatever. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I get stoked.
Yeah,
no,
because your life's so easy. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
like it doesn't bother me at all. They're
You
like,
almost-
look at this pretty boy.
that's
right
so
here,
endearing though that you just
I
take
know.
it in stride.
Well,
it's almost like an
maybe I'm just-
autistic quality. Like he thinks like they're being genuine. You know, like, oh, this guy's really nice.
Maybe I'm autistic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Like,
Dude, my beef of the week is Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger.
oh,
I'm a Steelers fan. I'm not as deep a Steelers fan as someone who's from Pittsburgh, but AB, Ben, what is going on over there? It has been a shit show all year. I follow Antonio Brown on social media, and it's like, I don't know where he is. I don't know. He's gone. Mm-hmm. He's like just lost in this like weird world he's built for himself. And I just miss the old Antonio Brown. I think it's time to move on from Big Ben. Let's trade Antonio Brown to the 49ers for their first-round pick, draft Kyler Murray, go Kyler Murray, Juju Smith-Schuster, and James Conner. That's the future of the team. And I had a scout who liked the pod reach out to me, and I asked him why Big Ben plays so bad on the road. And maybe this is not corroborated, but he said it's because he's partying so much.
oh wow.
And then with Brown, it's like, you find out he's not living with the rest of the team in the offseason. He's late to practices. And he got caught, FaceTime living after a playoff game, what Mike Tomlin was saying about preparing for the Patriots. And when I saw his face in those videos, I was like, dude, where are you? He looked like Ronnie season 2 of Jersey Shore when he's like, doing the hand in front of the face glaze look.
Right.
It's a very specific reference.
I only saw that.
Yes. But yeah, guys,
saw
Antonio
the
Brown,
pilot.
Ben. And the other thing the scout said is that the reason the team's not Super Bowl caliber anymore is because the leadership's gone. James Harrison, Troy Polamalu, Ryan Shazier.
Or Polamalu, University of Oregon, baby.
USC.
Fuck me. This is some other Polynesian cat then. I'm such a cuck. I don't know anything about sports anymore.
Yeah, neither do I.
I can make references from like the 90s.
Yeah, do you know what's funny is right when I started talking about football, I never seen you guys go to your phones
Oh, yeah, we
faster.
checked out.
I was looking for the mission statement.
I was like, damn, this is some boring shit.
Yeah, we checked out.
This is boring.
I was like,
shit.
oh, this is just for the fans.
I think it made my beef worse. I was like, what was I talking too quick?
Hey,
Yeah.
I think I know what your beef is now.
Chad, what is your quote of the week?
My quote of the week comes from the movie Starsky and Hutch.
Great movie.
They're at the club.
Awesome.
Ben Stiller accidentally ingested a lot of cocaine, and he starts dancing. And this one guy comes up to him, fucking just swagged out. He's ready to fucking throw down. This is the 70s, baby. And Ben Stiller bumps into him, and he's like, "What are you doing? The floor's made for dancing. You can tell by the lights." That's my quote.
Yo, solid quote,
Dude.
solid movie, dude.
And that just goes to show, watch where you're walking, dudes. If you see a floor full of lights, it's probably made for dancing. So don't just go fucking stroll on through there. You know?
Unless you got your dancing shoes on.
Yeah, break it down, baby. Break it down.
Johnny Mitch, what's your quote of the week?
Quote of the week. I didn't come with one, but I'll hit you with one right now. Since we're on the topic, behind every great fortune is an even greater crime. Balzac.
Yeah.
And that's true. Trace it to the Kennedys, the Roosevelts. It's all comes from dirt.
The master of panoramic storytelling.
That's it.
That's cool.
My quote of the week is from Nickelback from the song Rockstar. Chad and I had a big week last week. We were doing something big for Chad Goes Deep, and it was a lot of pressure, and when we were driving around trying to get ourselves pumped up, we listened to one band, the Foo Fighters. That was it. And it got you, it gets you fucking jacked up. But then we slipped in one Nickelback song, Rockstar. And I like the lyrics when he says, sign a couple autographs so I can eat my meals for free. And then like a small voice comes in the background and says, I'll have the quesadilla. I like that this guy is a rock star and he's got carte blanche to the entire world. And what does he want to eat? A fucking quesadilla. He's not changing. His situation's changing, but he's not changing.
It's not even like he's singing it too. It's like he's like, oh wait, I forgot to add this part. I'll have the quesadilla.
It's hilarious. He goes, I'll have the quesadilla. He picked quesadilla. He picked to put that in the song, and he picked to make it a quesadilla, and he was right on both accounts.
Hey JT.
Yo.
I think I liked your Ben Roethlisberger story more.
Really? Damn, dude.
Oh, dude, I love that quote.
Fucking
I
with
love
you.
that quote.
Yeah, dude.
See, did you feel the love in that burn?
Of course, dude.
Fucking love it.
Always feel the love. All right.
We got a mission statement too.
What's our mission statement of the week, Chad?
So our dog Garrison, who initially put us onto this, he's like, in a very polite way, he's like, guys, you're not putting in the research.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you what's up. So next one up is Roxy. Roxy was launched as a women's brand by Quicksilver in 1991, initially with swimwear, but then launching the iconic women's board shorts in 1994. So they started the women's board shorts.
That's huge.
Okay, he goes, note, there's no succinct mission statement for Roxy, yet the Make Waves, Move Mountains campaign helps to fill the void. They should really work on this. So the Make Waves, Move Mountains campaign, launched in 2018, features simple black and white photography of women and girl athletes speaking messages of empowerment. We won't be stopped, whether it's wind, waves, snow, streets, or stereotypes. We move united, taking the lead from those girls before us.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right on.
So it's all about empowerment, getting
Yeah.
those board shorts on, and
Absolutely.
or wherever you are, and taking the elements head on, just like you would take on society head on.
Beautifully.
That's awesome, man.
Well summarized. Dude,
That's
this
awesome.
girl just like hit on one of my pictures with fire, like on the photo of me, and then underneath it said, do any of your roommates sell Adderall? I got a feeling the compliment isn't genuine and that she's more after the Adderall.
Yeah. It's kind of like when a stripper knows you have coke, and she's like, "You're so good looking." I hope your fans don't think I'm a total scumbag. I'm only half of one.
I think
That's me.
I think
you know?
you came out across very endearing.
Yeah, and here's the other thing. We love you.
Yeah.
We always talk about how great you are.
Yeah.
awesome.
Jay Mitch, baby.
You're always a
appreciate
good
you guys.
time. You're
Means a
always
lot.
real. This is a kind of a, it's been said, but you're a real dude.
You make me laugh more than it. Like, you're one of those, those dudes where you come up, you're like, this guy's going to make me laugh for sure.
Oh man, I appreciate that. I feel the same way. And look, if something should happen to me, give me a dope Instagram post. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that.
And guys, I was gonna play another clip. I end the pod with some clips, of people talking in a way that's inspiring. This week, I was gonna do Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert, two of the greatest film critics to ever live. They had a wonderful TV show at the movies. Dude, they used to fight like fucking bickering
That's right.
assholes. Dude, they would
Yep.
go at each other so hard.
Yep.
And so this is a clip of them fighting in between takes. But once it says action, they lock in, deliver the lines with like total professionalism. Then it drops and they're like, fuck you, you piece of shit. Just making fun of each other to the whole crew. And they used to go so hard at each other. And then when Gene Siskel died, Roger Ebert said, I realize now how deep the love and how silly the hate. And I think, they were just two fiery guys with big intellects going toe to toe over things that they cared about. But in the end, we're all better off that they were on that collision with each other.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
Oh, nice.
That
dude,
makes
good.
everything, all the little petty beefs in this business seem trite compared to the larger issue of life and death and trying to love one another. You know what I mean?
We're lucky to be on this thing together.
Unbelievably lucky. I was thinking about that coming over here. I'm like, this is a top 1% thing we're doing.
This is nice.
It is cool.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
It is cool. It's like being called a pretty boy.
Yeah.
It's nice.
You're just a pretty boy who gets to podcast at ATC.
Yeah, it sounds
Yep.
like, he called me a pretty boy. I'm like, what's the problem?
Right.
Yeah. So maybe
That sounds
that's
awesome.
Yeah.
Where's the insult? Boys are young. Pretty is pretty.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, that'll be it for episode 59 of the Going Deep with Chad JT podcast. Thank you guys so much for fucking listening, for writing in questions, for just being stokers. Big ups to Johnny Mitch for coming in the pod. Thank you, dude.
Hey, Stokers, I'm so stoked you had me on. I had a great time. Follow me on Instagram, please.
Yo.
Johnny Mitchell, at Johnny Mitchell Comedy.
Plug your stuff, yeah. Well, isn't your Instagram J Mitchell Comedy?
No, it's been switched up, and I'm sorry for the mouthful, but I have a shitty show business name. It's Johnny Mitchell, so Johnny Mitchell Comedy, okay? And if you guys can convince the guy who has just Johnny Mitchell at Instagram, he's got like 2 pictures on there. If you can convince him to sell me the name or give me the name, I'll do something dope for you. I'll send you $100. But for now, it's Johnny Mitchell Comedy. And I can't wait for my book and my podcast to drop. I want you guys to be a part of it with me.
Sweet.
Cool. JT?
John, thank you so much for coming on, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your story with us. It means a lot. Yeah. Stokers, stay out of jail.
That's it. Use
Yeah.
it. Okay, cool. All right.
Let's do it.
That's it, man.
That was fun.
Wearing last week?
No,
No,
this
it's
is
not. Don't worry about it. I know,
this
he
is
was
not-
wearing a brown sweater.
This is not the part that's supposed to match, Slick. Give it a moment's thought. What are we doing now? The promos. You know what they have to match? Nothing. No promo ever has to match
I
anything.
thought we were about to do... the-
Welcome to the exciting world of television. A wholly new field for you to begin to learn in.
Well spoken, Roger.
Well, that's something that you rarely hear. Compliments really paid to you. Gene Hackman and Kevin Costner in the Pentagon thriller No Way Out.
That's this week on Siskel and Ebert. I think you're going to have to redo it because you're going to get flash frames with the speed with which he read across those stars and titles. You won't have a second and a half of it video.
Okay, fine. Sound a little excited, Gene.
Sound less excited, Roger. That's why we're redoing it, because of what you did. It's Thriller Week on Siskel and Ebert at the movies, and we've got 3 new ones.
And the movies, not at the movies. And that's why we're doing it this time.
It's Thriller Week on Siskel and Ebert in the movies, and we've got 3 new ones.
Dennis Quaid in The Big Easy. Michael Caine in The Fourth Protocol. And Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman in No Way Out.
That's this week on Siskel and Ebert and the movies. And the asshole. Great. And that's Roger. Yeah, I'll do what Jamie told us, because Jamie and I agreed together. Doer. That's what I like. A guy that went to an Ivy League school who doesn't know the English language.
She just said Dyer.
He said doer, of course.
Doer Straits. That's what that favorite band.
That's because that's what that whole goddamn culture drinks to death. All those wasps.
Okay, ready?
You know, they don't get enough shit, basically, wasps. They don't.
They don't. They're called yuppies now.
They run the goddamn country, and all of us, I'm speaking to everyone who's eavesdropping right now.
They don't run the whole goddamn country, Gene. What about the international bankers?
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention the Vatican.
No. I'm talking about they run...
And the commies.
No. They run the country. The wasps run the country, and all of us should band together and overthrow them, and there could be...
You probably think our president is a wasp. You think our president is a wasp, don't you?
No, he's not a wasp.
He isn't, because he's Irish, so he's Celtic. You know that...
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. They're all Protestants. They've all been Protestants, you know that. Come on, band together, people. Let's overthrow the country.
Protestants, people who sort of want a religion. Let's stick together. The Catholics and the fucking Jews. We go back a few years together.
Come on.
Hey,
we're real. We're real. We get down and get dirty.
We were burning each other when Martin Luther was only a gleam in his mother's eye.
I'll take a Baptist. I go back 6,000 years. Somebody that has some goddamn passion, some blood coursing through their veins.
Case closed.
Anything.
Right. Goddamn Protestants. Biggest thing that happens for them on Sunday is a bake sale.
No, they got to decide what color yellow tie to fucking buy.
That's right.
Okay, gentlemen, we're
He's right.
Gee, what should it be, lime green or dark green today, honey?
Right. The only fucking religion that has the Reader's Digest is a prayer book.
They don't get enough shit, and they have all the money. They have all the money.
All
those guys they're all running Northern Trust. They have all the banks on the South Street. It's all horseshit.
The only time Protestants get on their knees is to adjust the fucking TV set.
They have all the goddamn insurance companies. They have all the insurance companies. They run the government. They run everything.
You're right.
Okay, tape is rolling, and here we go. Stand by, please. Stand by. Here we go.
Steve Martin's new comedy Roxanne.
This week on Siskel and Ebert and the movies.